distribution point for rations and supplies to the Comanche, Kiowa, Arapaho, and Cheyenne tribes. During the fort's active military years, it played a vital role during the Plains Indian Wars as a base of operation for troops under the command of Brevet Major General George Armstrong Custer, General Nelson Miles, General Philip Sheridan, and other Army units. Fort Dodge is currently a Kansas soldier zone. Most of the buildings on the grounds were built after 1890, but some of the structures remain from the military years. Because of the scarcity of timber, the military built many prairie forts without a stockade or protective walls. These forts had quarters for officers, barracks for soldiers, stables, storehouses, a hospital, headquarters, and a sutler store, all grouped around a parade ground. Originally, troops were housed in tents. Shanties made up to the commanding officers' quarters in 1868, and it was one of the last stone structures built. This 1.5-story building contains a spacious center hall with 2 large rooms on each side. The attached kitchen forms an L. Fireplaces heated to lower level. The upper level has 4 rooms with windows that some say were intended as gun holes. They can be seen just above the porch line. The stone building has been called Custer House for many years, although General George Armstrong Custer was never actually stationed at Fort Dodge. He did lead the 7th Cavalry from here to the Battle of the Casita, an Indian battle fought south of the fort in Indian Territory. This 1-story building, completed in 1868, served as the post hospital. It provided a ward of 12 beds, a dispensary, and other support facilities. He was good, in spite of sanitation and personal, because of his responsibility for building permanent fort quarters and defending frontier with an inadequate number of troops. He resigned from the military shortly after he finished the assignment at Fort Dodge.
This here museum and library, people talked about the yellow stucco on the outside of it. It's 3 years old, and last year they come in and tore all the stucco off, replaced some of the rock, regrouted it, so it's back to the original condition it was back in 1800s. So, and it's usually open weekdays.
Structures were built in 1866, and along with the bakery, were the first stone buildings to be completed on the fort's grounds. The north end of each storehouse were partitioned to provide officers for post headquarters and the quartermaster. Even though the structure has been covered with stucco, the door and window openings reveal original stone building material. The building across the street from the library to the north was built around 1900 and still serves as the Kansas Soldiers' Home Chapel. Work on the complement of the building. Each bunk held 4 soldiers, 2 up and 2 down, each sleeping in opposite direction head to toe. Wells behind the buildings provided drinking water for actual quality, while water for washing was carried from the Arkansas River located south of the fort. Lieutenant George Hesselberger's name, veterans of 8 wars. The fort closed in October 1882. In 1889, the federal government allowed welcoming of the military reservation and buildings to be purchased for $1.25 an acre by the state of Kansas, which used the property as a home for Kansas veterans and their dependents. The citizens of the Dodge City raised the money for it. This building, called the Sutler Store, is a grocery store and formerly housed the post office. It was constructed around 1900 by the Kansas Soldiers' Home, and it is operated by private contractors, just as the Sutler stores were in the military. The original Fort Dodge Sutler Store and building stood for this